What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be diving into my EDC update. All right, guys, I thought it would be fun to go ahead and just give you a quick update of everything that I'm carrying. I do have the one and only pouch still in my inventory to date that I'm carrying, but first I'm just going to cover the wallet really fast. The extra wallet, aluminum, has a lot of options, but I really just like this for its minimalist characteristics. I do have the one with the extra caddy. I keep my medical card and ID and concealed carry permit here. I keep this slot open for cash in case I need it for any event or emergency, and then just a handful of cards here. And as you can see, they do pop up very easily. So very nice wallet. It has held up well. It definitely has some spots where it has worn and patinaed, as I like to call it, from being carried daily. But honestly, with the other stuff that I carry in my pocket and how I use it, it's held up well. No issues with anything coming loose, relatively snug. I mean, there's some tolerance here just because it needs to be able to go in and out with the mechanism that they're using, but I like it. It's worked very well. So that's the wallet, and that is back in the pocket. Data Crew Water Slide USA made. I really like this one a lot. Band-aids in here on the outside, sometimes some cash. This is the EMP EDC Atom Bomb that I used to put on with my own lanyard, and just an assortment of REs on here for you to check out if you want. Some are from Etsy, and then some of them are from Data Crew or knife makers that I've just got along the way. Very nice zipper on here. I really must admit that zipper has held up extremely well on here. And then just a very minimalist loadout, a hank to clean my glasses. I do use these when I go to the gym and or to work out. The JBL Tune Buds are my absolute favorite of the two that I got. The JBL Flex are good, but these definitely hit a little bit harder. I keep the charge cable in here for them just in case. One of my favorite little flashlights that go into a pouch like this is going to be the Pineapple. They did a limited run with the Sagaha pattern on here, and I like it a lot. Still haven't put a tritium tube in here, but really this just kind of rides in here, and I just use it for emergencies. I think recently I had to look at something in someone's hood, and I actually had my pouch and a knife, and I didn't have my little organizer that we're going to go over here in a moment, and pulled this out, and really it lights very well and it works very nicely. And again, they only offered the Sagaha pattern on the Pineapple Mini. Unfortunately, they didn't on the Land Apple. I probably would have got the Land Apple, but they did a pretty good job, and it looks really, really nice. The other thing that's in here that it gets a decent amount of use is the SOG Power Pint. Still haven't found anything at this size that is as effective or efficient as this one is. I do like this a lot. It does have a pocket clip on there if you want it. I think like ladies, or if you want something very minimalist in your pocket, this is going to work really nice. It also has a quarter bit for a driver here, case you wanted to use it that way. It is not spring assisted, and again, this is like in a pinch it will work and get the job done. And it does have an assortment of tools that you can use here. It has like the glasses flathead, it has a file, it has a can opener. Let's see what else we got here. Straight edge on this side. I'm trying to remember everything. It's got like I don't know what you want to call this blade here, but it's like a scraper more than anything. And then on this side, you got some scissors. You got a very fine Phillips head. Again, you got a bottle opener. You got a serrated blade. So it has some useful stuff on it, but again, it's not going to compete with like a full-size multi-tool. Don't get it twisted. This is just in case of emergencies. I also like this stash tool from CRKT. I put my own lanyard on it. Internal storage. I got a 10 and an 8. No, an 8 and a 6 in here with a flathead and a Phillips head. You'll be surprised how often it actually comes in handy when you need a Phillips head or a flathead somewhere and you don't have your toolkit. And then what actually fits in here really well is the mini side click from Big Idea Design. The inks actually lasted quite a while. I've done notes with this more often than you may think, and it is a little uncomfortable for me with the larger hands because I just miss. But to make a quick note, to write some stuff down, to sign a check, comes in really handy. And then inside of here, just for fun, I have a coin, just in case I have a hard time trying to decide if I really want to buy it. So on this side, buy the knife, and then on the other side, of course, you got to flip it again because you need to buy the knife. You got some REs on the inside, and it's just a really well constructed pouch. I like it a lot if you're interested in trying one out. All right, next I want to talk about flashlights really quick. I use these quite often, trying to get around in the house if I'm in the bedroom and wife's asleep and I'm trying to do something. I like the moonlight setting, if I don't want to wake anyone up. There's been times in a dark corner of the garage if something has fallen and I'm looking for it, I've used these. Been times when I'm looking under the hood where I've used these and look for something, or if it's fallen between the seats. It comes in very handy, and it's now daylight savings here in Virginia. So in the evening times, going to check the mail and stuff like that, making sure that there's nothing in there with my mail, I'm using these. So they come in very handy. The land apples of my choice from Raylight are going to be the frag pattern stonewashed. It did come with when I bought this one, it came with a polished clip, and I did an acid etch on it myself because it is stainless steel. And this is the only one that has the Damascus tail clip on it. I think it's very pretty and works very well. I had someone recently to me said that they wish that it was still protruding, but they chamfered it well enough to where I actually don't have an issue using the tail switch on this one. So I really like it a lot. I think on this one I have, and we'll double check here, I think this one has the green tritium. No, this one has the blue tritium on it, and then you can see internally it has a little bit of it has a glow ring, not a little bit of one. The blue aluminum, I wanted to try an aluminum one, has the red tritium on it, trying to do like some offsetting colors here. Also has the glow ring on the inside as well, and the tritium on the aluminum tail cap. And same thing here, I've had no issues using the tail cap on it. But there's definitely a difference in the weight. You can feel a little bit of difference on the weight between the titanium and the aluminum. And then they recently released a smooth stone washed, and you can tell the difference here between the one that I etched and the one that isn't etched. I just haven't done this one. And then they have a new tail switch here. Someone told me this is for smaller tritium inserts. I didn't realize that. I think this to me is just to make it a better standing tail cap. It's a little bit more stable than this one, in my opinion, but I don't know that that's necessarily the only reason. It is still chamfered well in here. No issues for me to just rest my thumb on it and push down. It works well. Still titanium in there, and the green tritium inserts on there, but that is the Raylight land apple, and I think they start at like $59 for the aluminum. I believe they got blue, red, purple, and gray, I think is the 4 colors that I've seen. They may have others. I'm not sure. You would just have to check to see what they got. But those are the flashlights. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the pins. I just realized I had that laying down wrong. The main pins that I use are the minis because they fit in the organizer I'm about to show you here in a minute very well. I have the tactile turn mini bolt action. This one works really well. I love the fact that they did give it a decent size switch here for you to be able to get to it, and it's actually perfect height for me to be able to write and for it to rest on the inside of my finger here, and I can actually legit write with it. The side click is a little bit taller than the bolt action because it has to have the tail switch on the top, but this one to me functionally is the best working of the 3. I like this. Same height body wise. Whoops. Same height body wise with the spring, but again that tail clip makes it just slightly taller. It's not a huge difference. I did notice with the updated version, and I don't know if this is just the bolt action, but they've moved away from 2 to a single, and I think they've milled it internally here for it to not rock back and forth. So I do like that. I did custom anodize this one, gave it like an oil slick look on the pocket clip, and then a blurple ano finish here, and then I went with the lighter colors on the switch. No, I did the switch oil slick. I did the tail click here to match the top bolt, and then I oil slicked that there. So that one has the most attention to detail of all the pins that I have here. And unfortunately, Smooth Precision Pin is no more. I think due to some health issues. He retired and sold off his equipment and everything, but I really loved the way these were designed. Good height to them, very nice finish. I love the finish on these and the milling here to grip onto, and I love that the pocket clip is integrated into the bolt action here. So a good height, a little bit thicker overall and a little bit taller, so good height to them. But those are the main 3 pins that I carry. And right now, the main one that I'm still carrying is the USA made ARC Company Rambler XL. I love this one because it fits all of my gear very well. Very nice stitching. They're very durable. They have held up well. I mean, I've done everything to these, and the material, the stitching, and the quality on them are fantastic. So I highly recommend them. You don't have to load it out the way that I do. He has other ones. You know, if you have nooks and a knife, if you have a pry bar and a knife, and that's all you're carrying. He has different sizes. The Rambler is a little bit smaller for smaller gear. The XL for larger gear. So I do like that a ton. And they fit in here really well. So the way that I carry them is I carry the pin in here, I carry the flashlight here, and what I end up doing with that particular loadout is I end up carrying a secondary knife that I carry with them as well. So you can see they all go in here really nicely, especially because I've been using them for so long. This one here is still breaking a little bit more. I just got the gray recently to go with the lighter stonewash and silver loadout, just to load it out a little bit differently. And for example, here is my DVO Knives Tall Boy, and I'm actually carrying this today. This is how I have it loaded out here. So this is how I carry it, tucked down in the pocket. Works really well for me. And then I have a primary carry that's just clipped into my main pocket. So those are the ARC Company organizers. Highly recommendable, guys. I really like them a bunch. All right, so really fast before we jump into my modern traditionals that I have in the pouch here, I'm going to cover the one and only main fixed blade that I use to this date. It is the Kaiser Knives Little Buddy S90V. They also do a 3V variant, which I like very much. I did take the clip that I found off no, this one came with it. I'm sorry, this one came with the pocket clip. I'm thinking of my mink. But this is the main one that I keep and carry. I love it a bunch. It is a great size for EDC, and the pocket clip and low profile sheath on this one are phenomenal. Easy recommendation. I like it a ton. All right, let's unwrap the organizer here, and we're just going to really quickly go through my modern traditionals. Do want to shout out that I do fifth pocket carry a ton. My DVO Nip Light. This one is the one that he sold exclusively, or DVO sold exclusively on their website. 154 cm aluminum. Great little 3-finger knife to get into packages, boxes, things of that nature, and fantastic action. It is the only fifth pocket carry that I have that's totally dedicated to fifth pocket. Some of these other ones here will flex. My main modern traditional you're going to see here is still going to be my modded QSP Hedgehog from Traditional Pocket Knives. Sent it off to have this made into a true Warncliffe deep hollow grind, and I can't remember the name. I think it's Pacific, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Titanium, great 4-finger knife. I hang off the back slightly, but great knife, excellent worker. I love it a ton. Great walk and talk. The other honorable mention I want to talk about here is going to be the Lusahachi. I love this one a lot. Listen to this walk and talk, guys. Great walk and talk. Beautiful clip point. Again, 4-finger grip. Nice light duty gents knife here. Get into your packages. Cut some loose string off of some clothes. You know, cut some twisties off. Whatever you need to for some light duty work. This one's going to work great. The last honorable mention here is going to be the Ohio Riverjack. It is an honorable mention because I just got this one in, haven't had a chance to spend as much time with it, and that actually is kind of Austin's fault from Traditional Pocket Knives. The reason that it hasn't gotten that much time is because he turned around and sent this right behind it, and this is the Appalachian Ridge Runner. S9DV, and it is a full-size knife. This has been my main modern traditional carry here for the last month. I've really enjoyed it a ton. I got it a little bit early to check it out and do a review for it before it dropped for you guys to be able to check out. It comes in the fat carbon frost, which is my favorite. I love that one. Great jimping, nice thin hollow grind clip point. A real worker, guys. A real worker. Not a huge thick blade stock, but a great balance of being tough and usable and pretty decent walk and talk. It reminds me of like a buck 110 as far as the size. It's a full size, full hand grip. Really meant to be used hard. I absolutely love this one. Let's clean this up and get into the folders, guys. I know that's what you're waiting for. All right, since we're talking folders and we're talking official list, the Ridge Runner is the, again, modern traditional that I've been carrying the most. The next two are going to be the DVO Knives. These two here in tandem occupy a ton of pocket time. I love the tall boy, a little bit taller and a little bit bigger, a little bit more roomier than the Fireball, and I really love the shape of this one. It is the traditional pocket knives exclusive that's coming in that 80s camo carbon. I love the radial pattern on here with the polished hardware. I think this one just really hits, and it's so smooth. Very good detent, very satisfying to deploy. Doesn't take up a ton of space in the pocket, even though it is a longer knife. It's very slender and it carries very well. I also love this exposed pivot lock system that they're doing here. I think that looks really cool, and I've really enjoyed that one a ton. The other one is the Fireball, both of these S90V, if I didn't mention it. First time I've seen a clamshell titanium backspacer like that on a knife from DVO, and it has really good lock bar access. You got another utilitarian blade shape here, a little bit of belly and real good strength out on the tip for that detailed work. You have a titanium pocket clip with a reversible clamshell backspacer here that you could have picked up if you were a lefty. I love this unique pivot system on here. I love that. It just looks really good. I did opt out to get the polished right here to kind of accent the blade, and then the pivot remains black to accent the titanium clamshell backspacer and the titanium pocket clip, so kind of bringing it together in the middle there. And of course, you know, I had to go with that traditional pocket knives exclusive. And of course, you know, I had to go with the 80s camo carbon. Just a really fun scale color to have. I like to mix my colors up a little bit, but those two starting off the list. The next two to occupy a ton of time is the Vosteed and Kilo. And man, what a fidget monster. This thing just has every means of deployment that you could possibly want in a knife, in my opinion. Great blade shape. I picked up the LMAX version here. Just a great locking system here. I did tune up the lock bar a little bit on mine just to make it a little bit more stout. The only thing about that, with it being that stout, is the lock does push really tightly against there, so you got to fire it with the heavier tune to detent it. They tune it lighter so that it doesn't get hung up. But great ergos. Nice frag pattern on the aluminum here. Just a standard kind of stale blue, slate blue, whatever you want to call it. Very good sounds and a great blade shape. Very useful, very utilitarian. The only thing I'll note about the LMAX is whatever finish they did on this one here, it shows a lot of staining. I don't know if that's LMAX. I don't have a ton of experience with LMAX, which I'm really enjoying this LMAX because boy, oh boy, does it hold an edge really well. But I did notice that this finish, whatever they got going on with it, does stain a ton. The other one here that's an excellent companion carry, I use it a lot, is the S35 VN version of the Hedgehog with my Sat2 Dave hollow grind on it. Just an excellent user, man. I love this one. Again, low profile flipper. You got thumb studs. You got the fuller here for reverse flicking. I know it looks small, but it's nice and chunky, so it's very satisfying to use and hold. And with that hollow grind, it's an absolute laser beam. This one here has their top liner lock. Basically, it's a compression style lock. What it does is it rests on the actual spine of the blade here, and then the tang goes underneath the actual stop pin, and it sandwiches just like a Spyderco compression lock. And then they have the attached button here to disengage it. So you get a real detent, you get the convenience of keeping your fingers out of the blade path to close it. If you do like to fidget with your cutlery, this is a really nice feature on this one. And the S35VN seems to be done really well, so does the LMAX. So Vosteed here getting the second most carried out of all the knives that I have from the bottom of the list. So I don't know how many numbers it is. I remember I'm doing this off top of memory, so I don't know the order or of the number. It might be like eight rankings, with a couple of Vosteed and DVO being tied in a certain slot. Next up is a couple of Kaisers. They are both Militals. I do, in all fairness, carry the frame lock premium version just a touch more than I do the budget version, but even the budget version is really nice. You got a wood inlay smooth G10. I added a titanium Civivi pocket clip on here that you can get off of Amazon, and it has 154 cm, which is still an outstanding steel. And you're getting all of these because they are budget materials for under $80, which I think is outstanding. I think 154 cm hits really hard at that price point. I think it's an outstanding steel that outperforms anything at or below that price point for me personally for everyday carry use. Great edge retention, plenty tough, corrosive resistant, just a fantastic steel, easy to sharpen and hone. And I really love this design and the style. Hand filling, very comfortable to use. Even if you use the scallop choil here, I can get 4 fingers on there. I just tend to, with these, I choke up and choke back, so I'm kind of splitting the difference a little bit there. But really nice to use, extremely good action, really stout detent on mine. Sometimes I almost feel like I am going to slide off, but that jimping is so good on that front flipper that I'm able to do that. But just really nice. This polished DLC on the S45N really has held up well. I am just really blown away with how well that DLC has held up. Really awesome model. I'm excited to see all the different versions that they're offering, because you can get a really budget friendly version in Nitro V and G10s, etc. 154 cm and some slightly elevated inlays, and then you're getting S35N with titanium and micarta to start off the more premium end of the knives. The steel has held up phenomenally. I've had no issues with edge retention or chipping or anything like that. So I just want to be vocal about that, because I've had people in the comments here recently telling me, because of how poorly a batch of Rex 45VN from Kaiser performed when they actually sent it out to have it tested, it didn't perform well. But these steels, 154 cm, Nitro V, S35VN, S45VN, I've had nothing but really good experience with it, and I've been very happy with those results. All right, 2 more really quick, guys. We have a couple of concepts that have really just blown me away. Both are S35VN with titanium and some sort of carbon fiber for my variant. But you got the Havorn here, which has a very unique blade shape to it. I really like this one a lot. I was surprised how much I liked it, because I wasn't sure about that blade shape. But I'm able to get comfortable 4-finger grip, good access to the lock bar. You have front and regular flippers on here, and the detent is dialed perfect for it. And you can see if I don't hit it right on the landing pad, I skid off of it. That's how good the detent is tuned on this one. So I've really enjoyed it. I think aesthetically it's a really nice piece. The milling and everything on it is done very well. I love the way they did the flat show side. Goes in and out of the pocket well. The pocket clip on these are really good too, but they did put the milling on the titanium pocket clip, and it's just a really smooth piece, man. They did a great job with that one. And then the other one being the Hinterland. Man, this one here is an absolute user for sure. I love this one. It's very comfortable, feels very beefy and hard use. The S35VN seems to be very well heat treated. I did opt out for a set of tie connectors so I could get the thumb stud on both sides. Very nice for that reverse flick, but honestly, learning where to put my finger on that fully here. I do slide across a little bit as I deploy it, but I have enough finger strength in there to really kick it. And you know, the detent is tuned well. I really like it. It feels crisp on the brake. Trying to go slow there to see if I can fail it. I really can't. It's just tuned well. I don't know how else to explain it. Love the blue with the fat carbon on here. The black wash is nice. I don't normally go for a bunch of black wash blades, but here lately I've been picking some up just because I really do like to have some knives that just aesthetically really do it for me. And I love the way that these kind of complement each other and accent one another. And it's a great user, guys. I like that one a ton. All right, we're finally into the top 3. I know this is a long video. Coming in at number 3 out of my top 3, my favorite knife. Man, I just carry this one a ton. I love it a lot. You're probably thinking, well, if it's your favorite, why is it not number 1? You'll see here in a minute why, as far as how it's worked to be carried. But this one makes it in the rotation all the time. Just an absolute gem of a knife. I love this for EDC. I think it can flex into gents. It can flex into hard use. It definitely works good for daily tasks and things that you want to cut with daily. It has a low enough tip for utility cuts. Again, I love the fat carbon frost inlay or carbon fiber. I think it looks really good, and I love the way that they've done that on these knives here. Those two definitely match one another. I think it's a great companion carry. The knurling is beautiful on here. Best pocket clip in the game with those concepts that I mentioned a little while ago coming in a close second. I do have skiff bearings on this one. I think I also forgot to mention that I have skiffs on my DVO knives and on the one frame lock of the Militol. Great access to the lock bar, man. This is just a great EDC. I'll love this one for a long time. I think it's got great looks, and it's just built really well, man. Just an excellent knife. Coming in at number 2, probably no surprise to anyone, is my stone washed Padre. Man, this knife absolutely hits. It is built extremely well. The Vanix on here has held edge really good. It absolutely has a great belly for cutting task. I've broken down plenty of boxes with this one. I'm really amazed how well the stone wash has held up. But I guess I shouldn't be, because my own etch and wash on my bug out that I have that my wife gave me holds up really well too. So I'm really happy with how it's held up. Very comfortable ergos, joy to carry, multiple means of deployment depending on what you like. Great blade shape. I love the opening hole, how it has like a fuller / hole on it. I love the diamond texture frag pattern on it. Pocket clip works good, even though it catches on the scale a little bit, but no issues with it going in and out of the jeans pocket. Good access to the lock bar. Detent is tuned well. Multi-row ceramic bearings housed. They're caged, not stamped, so really good action. I felt no need to swap out bearings on this one just because it is so good. But number 2, I don't think that'll surprise anyone, because I've loved the Padre since I first picked up the original one. All right, so what's number 1, you're asking yourself? That is going to be the Vero Engineering Nova. I did pick up a blackwashed one after I let someone talk me into selling my belt satin finish one with the Damascus kit. I ended up immediately regretting letting that one go, but I did talk to Vero, and I worked out being able to pick up the blackwashed one, and I don't have a ton of all blacked out blades, so I thought it'd be cool to mix it up a little bit this time and go with the blackwashed. Would I go with a stone wash like the Padre version? Absolutely. I would definitely do that if they did a hard, heavy stone wash like they do on that one with this. I would switch out immediately, but the black wash really looks good. I mean, all blacked out, man. All blacked out. Really sharp looking one. So I'm only going to throw down a few on the table, talking about the ones that are still left here. Oops, that's number 3. These are the top 3 most carried for sure. Some of the ones that really surprised me are going to be kind of like the concepts here. Those really did surprise me this year, and how much I've enjoyed them, how much they've really impressed me. and how they've come along, not with just design, but with the build quality and everything like that. You guys know I love me some DVO knives. They do a fantastic job with a lot of their models, and I love them a ton. I know I can't get them all out here, but that's my update. I wanted to share that all with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comment what was your favorite out of everything that I've shown here, and let me know what your top carries are. What are you carrying the most here lately down in that comments below. I'll have links down below if you're interested in anything. Check out those links. They may or may not be available depending at the time of this video when it posts and when they may be in and out of inventory. A special thank you to those channel members out there. You guys are amazing. Love you. I'm out of here. Have a fantastic week. Catch you next time. Peace.